back, U.S. community. My name is Sean Kenny with the Franciscan Beat, bringing you today's top headlines from on campus and around the world. But before we begin, I encourage you to subscribe to the Franciscan Beat YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the latest and greatest news from our campus. The Nebraska State Senate voted 33-16 Wednesday to advance a bill banning abortion once a fetal heartbeat can be detected, making good on a pledge to build on pro-life gains in last fall's midterm elections. LB 626, the Nebraska Heartbeat Act, requires abortionists to first test for a fetal heartbeat, which is generally detectable at 6 weeks, and forbids abortion if one is found, except in cases of rape, incest, or medical emergencies. Violators would be punished by loss of their medical license. While last fall's midterms were disappointing for many Republicans across the country, in Nebraska, lawmakers who oppose abortion expanded to a 33-seat majority in the state's unicameral legislature, rendering pro-life legislation no longer susceptible to filibusters, which had previously stymied efforts to limit abortion to 12 weeks. Abortion is currently legal up to 20 weeks. Tuesday's vote advances LB 626 to a second round of debate, KETV reports, thanks to the support of 32 Republicans and one Democrat, State Senator Mike McDonnell. It's expected to ultimately be signed into law. I want to thank everyone who's standing here today and all the Nebraskans who have been praying for the last 50 years for these babies with beating hearts to be saved, said Republican State Senator Joni Albrecht, who introduced the bill. We're going to protect those babies with beating hearts, and this is a monumental day in the state of Nebraska. In the wake of the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling last June overturning Roe v. Wade and restoring states' full ability to directly ban abortion, Planned Parenthood has suspended abortions and/or closed locations across the country, and pro-life attorney generals have declared their intentions to enforce their state's duty-enacted abortion prohibitions. But leftist prosecutors in various localities have vowed not to enforce such laws, and pro-abortion activists had pursued a number of strategies to preserve abortion access, with legal protection and financial support of interstate abortion travel being one of their chief strategies. Others have included attempting to enshrine rights to the practice in state constitutions, effectively insulting it from ordinary state legislation, as well as supporting interstate distribution of abortion pills and attempting to construct new abortion facilities near borders shared by pro-life and pro-abortion states. A gay, gender-confused man reportedly stabbed a taxi driver to death in Portland on Easter Sunday. Moses Jacob Lopez, a man who portrays himself as a woman, has been charged with murder and unlawful use of a weapon for allegedly killing a radio cab driver in southeast Portland, according to the Portland Police Bureau. Journalist Andy Ngo cites a source who has seen the not yet released video recording of the incident and described it as, quote, "the most disturbing and gruesome video I've ever seen." The video reportedly showed the 30-year-old Lopez getting into a cab while wearing a tiara and women's clothing. Several minutes into the taxi ride, Lopez rams a knife into the throat of the driver, killing him in the process. The Portland police identified the victim as 43-year-old Reese McDowell Lawson. Ngo reported that McDowell Lawson had recently found out who his biological parents were and was hoping to meet them for the first time. On April 3rd, shortly before the allegedly murdering the cab driver, Lopez was charged with unlawful use of a weapon and menacing in Coos County, Oregon. He missed a court hearing on April 6th and had a warrant issued for his arrest 3 days prior to the Easter Sunday stabbing. Ngo reports that Lopez worked as a nursing assistant until June 2021, before he was fired for abusive and threatening behavior towards co-workers. Lopez pleaded not guilty to the charges brought against him. His next court date is scheduled for April 18th, while he will remain in custody. While the motive of the perpetrator remains unclear in this case, it happened in the context for increasing calls of vengeance from transgender activists due to the restriction of gender transition drugs and surgeries in conservative states and the pushback against gender ideology, especially by Christians. And now on to campus news. The Center for Success is having a ribbon-cutting ceremony on April 20th at 2 p.m. to celebrate the grand opening of the new Center for Success. Now located in the St. John Paul II Library, the space went through extensive renovations. The academic advising and Center for Success teams are excited to offer enhanced services to students to support their education and studies. And as for today's weather, today was sunny with a high of 83 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be sunny again with a high of 82. We're finally going to see some rain for the rest of the week, and temps will be dropping to around the mid-50s. And that about wraps it up for today. Thank you for tuning in to the Franciscan Beat News Show. My name is Sean Kenny, and I will see you all tomorrow. Good night, Steubenville.